And seekers of general truths. In this video, we will continue our study of lines and the XY coordinate plane. And let's begin with this idea of a slope. Now, if you studied algebra before, you will likely have learned about slope. So let's review a little bit. Slope is typically abbreviated using the letter M, and it is delta y over delta x, or otherwise the change in the y value over the change in the x value. And another way that we can say this is that slope is a measure of steepness, right? How steep something is. Okay. So maybe we can look at a couple of examples, and let's use a scale of 1 to 1 here. Right, so every single mark here along the x-axis is 1. Every single mark along the y-axis here is 1. So if I put a dot right here, let's go over 1, 2, 3, 4, go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so let's say this point here is 4, comma 5. All right, and this is A. Let's put another point over here at negative 2, 1. And let's say this is B, negative 2, 1. Okay, so we can count the slope of line segment AB by saying the change in y. So another way that we usually abbreviate this is y1 minus y2 divided by x1 minus x2. Okay, so it's the ratio of the differences of the x and the y coordinates. So we can use 5 here as y1, so this is equal to 5 minus 1 divided by the x coordinates, which in this case is 4 minus negative 2. Okay. So this turns out to be 4 over 6, and this simplifies down to 2/3. Okay. So another way that this is described is called rise versus run. So you're going, the rise here is the change in y values, and the run here is the change in x. And I want to point out as well that it doesn't really matter which point you use to be y1 and x1 because it's going to be the same thing. So let's suppose I reverse these two. I want to use B here as my first point. So that we can say that if I were to do that, it would be 1, right? But this would be the y value minus 5, the other y value, divided by negative 2, right, minus 4. And so if we do this, we end up with negative 4 in the numerator and negative 6 in the denominator. Dividing those two negatives, we end up with the positive. So this is 2/3. Okay? So a very basic idea here. Hopefully this is a little bit of review if you've taken Algebra 1 before. And if not, if maybe this is a gentle introduction into the concept of slope.